Hello.
여러분 만나 뵙게 돼서 반갑고요.
It's so great to have you all now.
많이 받으세요.
Now, wish you for the happy year, happy new year.
신년콰일러. 중국말 이거밖에 못합니다. 신년콰일러. 제가 캐나다에서 강의한 게
I have given a special lecture about 5 years ago, I think, in Toronto.
그때 이후로는 여러분
And since then, I think this is my first time seeing you.
그 교차 강의를 잘 안 해요.
I usually don't do the exchange lectures because every group has a different colors.
그래서 혹시라도
And just in case
생각이
that if there's some difference, I try to be careful.
제 파트너 아니고
But
처음인 것 같습니다.
now this is the first time that I'm giving lectures without having my partners. Next month, I will be going to US. I usually don't do this, but now I am having this lecture for the business builders. Just in case that what I share with you is a little different than from what your leader's direction is a little different, or if there's a different thoughts, then you need to work with your leaders, the direction you're going. Just what I say, take it as a reference. Take it as a reference. And my sponsor is Doug Lee, Imperial Master, and I have learned a lot from him. You may know that Doug Lee, Imperial Master, has done 17 years of network marketing, and he had failed many times. And it's not that he had not gone to the top, but he wasn't able to maintain and the continued. It's not that he didn't make money, but I do that because my brother wanted me to do it. I did another network marketing for 3 years, only once, the Korean network marketing, but I failed. So at that time, I felt so ashamed. For 3 years, I did not make any money, and that I asked my partners to become successful, but didn't quite make it, not only myself, also them, and I had gone into debt about 100,000 won. So I just don't want to think about it. That's the no one knows what happens in the world. Now that I have done Atomy, whether should I do Atomy or not, if I think about take that into consideration, and I have done it for 14 years. What I've learned, work is not difficult, but it's the people. It's the people that's most difficult. And understanding people. And I think we spend most time into working with people. In Atomy, rather than money, that I have gained the understanding of people. That before I would not understand, but now I can understand. Now, right now, there are many people came from different countries. See, because I'm Korean, I'll be in a Korean culture, and that's the culture that I'm in and have done Atomy. So what I have understood, learned, the
특히
promise.
파트너하고의 약속은
Promise between the partners.
초보일 때는
At the beginning of Atomy, I had to keep the promise. I just didn't like those who did not keep the promise. I didn't want to work with them. Because of that, Lee Imperial Master really reprimanded me almost every day. And he really gave me a hard time on that point. And that there's a conflict between my sponsor and myself. In the saying, in the Korean, that for me, for the going into the bathroom and then come out, a person should be the same, thinking same. What that means is that those who did not keep their promise, I was so mad. But Lee Imperial Master looked at me as immature. Look, people are different before they go into the bathroom and when they come out, and that they have to be different. The only thing they would be the same would be the ghost. Why is your emotion so up and down? You cannot become successful that way. And my nephew, Ideon, and those people who cannot become successful was your aunt. That's what Lee told his son, because she's so and she starts to argue, and then she has to win all the time, and she will never become successful. And yeah, what you're saying is right, but I don't like you. You know, when I became Sherwood's master, my brother, my nephew Ideon, Star Master, Atomy is so easy because that my sister and my aunt became successful who could not have become successful. A year, 2, 3 years, I've been fighting with my partners and having conflicts, and that I began to have a wider range of understanding. I started with about that much of understanding, but this was expanding, and that I could understand more people. What I learned, promise is to break it. Money that is borrowed, they will not repay. Or people who borrow products, they will not bring it back. And I understood how people's mind works. And now people used to call me, I'm a the fighting chick. And now I used to just chip at all small things. Now I'm so widely take everyone, and I'm just like an angel. I'm becoming mature adult. That's just good person, becoming a good person. Someone who you can lean on. Young people, to open the ways for the young people. That's my goal in Atomy. It's not money. It's me opening my heart. Lee, what he always tells me, network marketing is, there's two things, why and how. Why do you do Atomy? Why is it very important?
왜 하냐?
Why do you do it?
결국 간절함이죠. 저는
Desire, right?
내가
Desire.
누가 더 간절하냐에 따라
Who's more,
누가 더 간절해?
who has that desire in
그러니까
their
지금
heart?
똑같이 받는 질문이 있어요.
Same questions. Two of us, they ask questions. Why? Is the answer. Because we were really wanted it. What's important? It's gotta be constant. The desire to succeed. When I was agent, I was greed. My desire was same, but when you become generous master, and then maybe it gets less. When you are sales master, you are so hot and focused, but then when you become royal master, that it fades away. Until you become imperial master, your desire has to be constant. It's got to be the same. That's the difference between amateur and pro. The small difference changed the world. Today, what I wanted to share with you, it's not why, but it is how. How, method. How are you going to do Atomy?
요즘에 어떤 그 특강 제의가 들어오면 제가
And when I come as a special guest,
딱 압축된 이야기 몇 가지가 있어요.
and there's the very focused thing, especially in pandemic time. Everybody has a difficult time. Of course, everybody is having difficult time. In spite of that, there are people who are growing. Yes, there is. But there's some people who really goes and make it worse for them. But there are people who just opens up and grow out. Amateurs, not only in Atomy, in any areas, they're not going to succeed. What is amateur? It's because COVID, we cannot meet. Because COVID, we cannot go somewhere. Because of COVID, and that's an excuse they make. And excuse after excuse. But what about pros, professionals? In spite of that, we do. In spite of Corona, even if it's for COVID, we do it. That's how. When I meet the mothers with the children, working moms, I'm not disregarding working moms. But what working moms say is the children. The children, my child is sick. When they're working hard, they're doing it because of their children. But when they're running away from it, their excuse is because of the children. I will make comments later. The professional pros, we cannot change the world. We cannot read, but we can read what happens. Bill Gates. And those who have become successful, they actually see the trend, they move forward. Then what we can do, and we just have to adjust to the change. The world changes, and I have to get on the change trend. Latte, don't look at the past, but go forward. It's going to change all the time. It's going to change all the time. Even during the COVID, and even my partners in Korea and the people in global, my partners,
회사가 못 해주면
if company cannot do it for you,
당신이 만들어서 해라.
you make it and do it.
왜냐하면
Because
애터미가 가졌던 가장 큰 장점은 뭐냐면
the Atomy,
회사가 모든 세미나를 주관한 거예요.
the company had ran all the seminars. That was such a benefit we had. Now
코로나라는 걸 딱 마주치니까
now that we have COVID pandemics
제공했던 게 우리한테 독이 되는 거예요.
and all the things the company had done for us became the poison because we don't think anymore.
뭐 할 줄을 몰라.
And we don't know how to do it ourselves.
자기 개발을 안 했던 겁니다.
And they do not create
왜? 회사가 다 해주니까.
because company did it all
박 회장님
of it.
말씀대로
CEO Park,
하면 됐던 거예요.
we just had to bring people and have them sit at the seminar. It's been 10 years.
그래서
So
리더들이 스스로
the leaders did not
진행해나가고 이걸
do it
하는 게
creatively on their own, and there had no duplications. What's been duplicated was just bring them and having them sit at the seminar.
근데
And now
완전히 이렇게 거꾸로
whole world has
뒤집혀진
changed.
시절에
Now,
박한길 회장이
at this
그걸
time,
알았더라면
if CEO Park had known that, maybe then he wouldn't have not done it. Gradually he may have changed it. But he did not read that trend.
그러니까 어떻게 됐습니까?
Then what happened?
앉혀놓을 수 있는 장소가 없어졌어요.
And there's no place. Now the place had disappeared. We could not bring
그러니까 어떻게 돼요?
people to sit there to listen.
한 거예요.
And people were shaken.
모이지들 못해.
Cannot get together,
데려다가 앉혀놓으면
cannot bring them to the seminar to sit there, and then company had
그러면서 송공장들이
lead them. And all the lectures or the what I had to do,
젖줄이 없어.
company had done it. Now because of COVID, that disappeared.
그러니까 이 사업을
So
할
that
수가 없는 거예요.
couldn't carry on with the business. Then I can invite them. I can invite them to my house, to my office.
근데 할 줄을
But
몰라. 어떻게 하는지를 몰라.
cannot do it because
비전제를
don't know how to do it.
하고
Could not give
세상이
vision.
바뀌니까
Now the world is changing.
어떤 그
So that
어떤 롤모델 같이
I
앞서가지고
I have to be the role model.
바뀌진 않지만
It cannot change one day, one night, but
보여주면서
time after time,
시스템 없이도
without the system of the company, that we can
그게 안 됐어요.
go forward. But Atomy did not have that system. So many people, the many lines, some of the lines just disappeared.
이제 나온 게 뭐죠?
Then what happened after that?
그래서 페이스 투 페이스로
Now,
하다가
we had offline meeting face to face. Now we went to Zoom,
그래서 또 줌에 적응
online.
몇 개월
Now it took several months to adjust to the Zoom.
문제는 뭐냐면
What is the problem then?
줌에
First,
접속해서 일을
coming
하는
into the
게
Zoom,
너무 힘들었는데
it was so uncomfortable. Now that we became comfortable, it's so easy.
운전해서 후원 안
And
받고
I don't have to drive long distance.
해외 안 가고
I don't have to fly overseas.
근데 제가 누누이 말씀드리지만 오늘
But time after time, I'm telling you the same thing.
줌에는 매출이 없습니다.
Zoom, there's no sales in the Zoom.
줌에는 고객이 없어요.
There's no
소비자가 없어요.
consumers in the Zoom.
사업자들만 득식을 되는 거예요.
It's only the people who wants to build a business, people who are not working.
모든 답은 현장에 있어요.
And now all the answer is in the workplace. We have to meet people.
마스크 한 장 써서 안 돼. 두 장.
You cannot just have one mask. If it's not enough, two, three. Oh, you gotta wear clothes to cover yourself up and go and meet. But you're just here in the Zoom and you just play on the Zoom.
여러분이 정확하게 아셔야 되는 게 뭐냐면
Now you need to know
하루아침에
that sales does not explode in one night, one day.
하지 않아요.
And the membership does not grow
우리는
in overnight.
비즈니스가 그렇지만
Every business
2009년에
in 2019,
일한 게
what we did in 2019,
언제 나타나요?
the result comes
20년에
2020.
씨를 뿌렸잖아요.
we sow the seeds,
거기다 여러분 물 주셔야 되고
and you gotta water them,
벌레는 잡아내요.
and you've got to go and find the insects.
햇빛이 너무 강해.
And if the sun is too strong, you gotta cover them up. You gotta provide a shade.
나오고, 그쵸?
There's a sprout, and the leaves come out, and the flowers,
시간이.
and it takes time.
그래서 결국은
In the end,
2000년에 여러분이 흘렸던
what you have sown in 2019, you would reap in 2020.
2020년에
And what you have worked in 2020, you will be reaped in 2021.
2021년도에 열심히 일하는
And what you have done 2021, you will
이 연속
bring the fruit 2020. It's the continuation
이렇게
like this.
그런데 어떤 그룹들은
But some groups, because of Corona, they don't sow the seed.
물도 안 주고
They don't water them.
뭐예요? 이
What do they do?
프레임
And then
안에서 계속 미팅만 하는 거예요.
and just have the meeting in the Zoom
계속.
online.
그래서 어떻게 돼요?
Then what do we do?
안 했어.
It didn't work in 2019.
이제 서서히 매출이 이제
And 2020,
이렇게
it's slowing down,
처음엔
it's going down. Maybe you may not have realized, but 2021
아무도 없고
and 2022,
하다 보니까
uh,
들어오는 커미션은 계속
there's a commission is decreasing and decreasing.
근데 여기 한술 더 떠서 회사까지 줌 미팅에 뛰어든 거예요.
And now,
뭐,
on top of that,
무슨 시스템? 줌 미팅
company is jumping into the Zoom meeting. There's too many Zoom meetings. And now it's decreasing the time of working out in the work field and meeting people. There's too many online meetings. Can't do it like this.
우리의 수입은 여러분 어디에
Our income
소비자들을
is with the consumers.
만나야
That's, we have to meet them.
됩니다.
We have to meet them.
제가 너무 많이 느끼는 게 뭐냐면
What I feel,
그 얘기를 해요.
the young people tells me,
그 젊은 친구 부업자들이 뭐라고 얘기하냐면
and they tell me,
자기네는 한 달에 200 그러니까 2,000불, 3,000불 벌려고 매일
for them
지하철
to
콩나물 실어
make
이렇게
2,000 to 3,000 a month, they get on the bus.
코로나고 뭐고
And whether there's a COVID or not, I have to make money, so I have to go into on the bus, and then not just sitting in the office. They have to make money, so they have to go out.
왜줌 미팅만 하냐면
Why all those people having online Zoom meeting and making $50,000,
매일 출근하는 사람
$2,000 to $3,000 to make that, they go to work.
많은 노력을 해야 되는
And then those people who's going to make 50,000, they have to go a lot more.
해보세요.
You keep having Zoom meetings. Now your income is going to decrease all the time.
저는 회사에도 얘기했고
I have told the company too, and I told that to the leaders too.
매출이 없는 시스템은 쓰레기예요. 내다
If there's no sales, that's garbage.
우린 죽어요.
If there's no sales, then we all die.
오늘 여러분들이 이 귀한 시간에
Now, this time
제가
is precious to you.
듣겠습니까?
If you're a salesmaster, would you be listening to my,
그러면 여러분 모이셨겠어요?
if I am a salesmaster, would you be here to listen? You would be here.
안 모여요.
If I'm an agent, you would be here.
왜 모였어요?
Why did you come?
임페리얼이니까 모이는
Because I'm an imperial.
돈 많이 번다니까.
Because I make a lot of money.
여러분 그게 돈이 가진 힘입니다.
That's the power of money.
줌 미팅 필요 없는 거
Zoom meeting,
없애버려야 돼요.
get rid of all those Zoom meetings that is not necessary. We need to go and meet them.
파트너를 만나야 돼요.
You gotta meet the partners.
어떻게 보면 코로나로 인해서
Because of Corona, that we couldn't go where we're supposed to have gone, and partners are giving up the Atomy. And then partners overseas, they say they're lonely.
정말 지금 우리한테
Right
필요한
now, what we
건
need
위로예요, 위로.
is comfort. Comfort.
다그치는 게 아니라.
It's not just, push them.
위로하다 죽을 순 없잖아요.
But we cannot just comfort them and then we all die.
없잖아요. 그러니까 늘 똑같아요.
It's same all the time.
코로나임에도 불구하고
In spite of Corona.
지금 울자.
Let's cry.
지금 그래 울자.
Let's cry.
짧게 울자 이거예요. 짧게.
Just short. Just short.
계속 울고 있지 말고.
Not continuously.
그러기엔 나는 지켜야 할 가족이 있고
And I have a family to feed.
나는 내가 반드시 이루고 싶은 꿈이 있잖아.
And I have a dream that I have to really work for.
결국 우리는 현장에서 멀어지면 안 돼.
And we cannot be too far from the workplace.
저는 똑같아요.
My lecture is same all the time.
몇 가지만 핵심으로 하우에
Just few points,
할게요. 제가
pointers.
제일 많이 하는 말은
What I say most,
첫 번째.
first,
러닝 바이 두잉이에요.
learning by doing.
근데 여기에서 여러분 많은 짜증나게 하는 진짜 저를 제일 열받게 하는 파트너들.
There are partners who really makes me feel
뇌 수술을 해주고 싶은 사람.
now not so happy. I wanted to just open their brain.
여러분 여기에서 단어는 러닝이 먼저 나왔지만
The learning came first, but what's important is doing.
두잉을 한 다음에
Doing.
하면서 우리는 러닝이 되는 거예요.
You have to be doing. By doing, we learn. Doing first.
우리는 현장에 나가서
At the workplace, we gotta be rejected.
함께 하겠다는
And
가슴 벅찬 이야기도 들으면서
We've got to, and then we share that wanting to work together, and by doing work, we learn. This is the value of Atomy.
두잉하면서 러닝.
While we're doing it, we learn.
근데 많은 사람들이
But many people,
두잉이라는 거를 강조하면서
they focus on the system.
빼버리고 계속
They don't do it.
러닝만.
They keep learning.
이거 아무것도 안 됩니다.
This is nothing. This is just the failure. And especially with the Zoom meeting,
확산되고 있고 복제되고 있고.
and it's growing wider and it's been duplicated. Learning,
듣는 거, 강의 듣는 거 중요하죠.
listening to the book,
근데
or listening to the lecture.
상위 개념이에요.
This is the,
상위 개념은 뭐냐?
it's lowly. Doing is the top.
못 뺏어가. 내 거야, 내 거.
By doing, no one can take it away. Sponsors, even sponsors cannot take it away. I have to
시간 하나씩 쌓아 올린 내 경험.
do it one by one and accumulate this experience is my power. These resources, this power is going to make my partners to become successful and make them rich. If learning is important, I was the high school graduate. How could I become Imperial? I didn't become Imperial, become successful by learning, but by doing. By doing.
어떤 분이 그러더라고요.
Someone told me,
하버드 대학을 나왔대요.
he
한국에
graduated from Harvard, he says.
그만 어깨가 어깨 뽕뽕.
And then he just was walking like his, so his head held up high. So what's important? What's so important about graduating from Harvard? Oh, by Harvard, he says.
근데 있잖아, 너 에이전트야. 나는
By your agent, I'm an Imperial.
어디다 디밀어?
What do you say? There's nothing to say.
안 그래요, 여러분?
Isn't that what it is?
학벌이 무슨 의미가 있어요?
What good is it?
나온 에이전트하고
Harvard agent
임페리얼하고 누구
and high school graduate Imperial. What is it?
아무 의미 없는 거예요.
There's no meaning for Harvard.
그러니까 제발
Do doing.
두잉,
Doing.
두잉. 현장에서 실전
At the workplace and doing, through doing, the learning happens.
저는 사실은 제가 고등학교밖에 안 나와서 그
I graduate from only graduate from high school. I always have this inferiority complex.
이덕훈 총단장님이 대학교 가는
Uh,
바람에 중학교를 못 가서 저는
because of Doug Lee was going to college, I had to, I couldn't finish my junior high, and I had to go to a factory.
몇년 다녔던 걸 몰라요.
People don't know that I have not graduated high school, but I have actually taken the test to finish
어떤 분들이냐?
the high school.
대학에 보내기 위해서
And some people thought to send my brother to college, or my brother to college, that I went to a factory to work. So I have, and then there are many people actually come to me who have given up their studies because they had to done what I have done. My partners, those who have grown up in a rich family, who never had these difficulties, they were shocked of my stories. They thought they felt that I was so, that I had grown up so well, they were moved. Why? It's because if my father go and work and make money, I gotta send my son to college, you should go and work and bring me money. If my father had done that, that would be my trauma, would have left. But probably I would have hated my father or my brother too. Why I don't feel sad for myself? I wanted to help my father. I feel so proud, even that little amount. I went to the factory to work myself. I wanted to help my father. That was my goal. 13 years old, 25 years old, 45 years old. What numbers are important? It's the heart that I wanted to help. I do not have this longing, not being able to go to school. No, I'm proud at what I have done. And same thing, sponsor says, you have to do it. Or partners say to the sponsor, you have to do it like this. You yourself make a choice of doing, and that will give you the pride in you. You've got to make it yourself. That's your resource. When you meet someone, oh yeah, I've done that too. Look, I have used that products, and I have felt that way. Through doing, I learned. It's not the book, but those who want to avoid, they just learn and not do. And with the COVID, it actually became worse. You know what the characteristic of learning? A person who just learns? Their brain is so big and they cannot move because they don't do anything. Their head is so big, it's so heavy, and it falls. There's so many of them. I've done 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. And when I ask them to do lecture, when are you going to be a proper man? You've got to work with your hands and feet. That's going to be your experience. That's going to make it. If I don't work, I feel so uncomfortable. Sponsor says, and then each one of us will have to do that ourselves. It's not your sponsor or partner pointed out.
성장한 사람들이 있어요.
Those who have grown in a most difficult time, they are people.
애터미는 두 파입니다.
In Atomy, there's two parts. People who learn, most of them,
SNS에서만 놀아.
SNS, they only play in the SNS.
만나지는 않고.
They don't meet.
그리고 어떤 사람들은
And some people, they do.
이들이
Those who are doing it,
하는 그룹의 사람들을 흡수하는 거예요.
and that these people who are doing are actually observing the people who are learning only.
애터미에도
In Atomy,
전에는 회사가
before,
해줬기 때문에
the company have done it
그나마
for us,
간에
that
매출 차이가
in
벌어지지 않았어요.
groups, between different groups, there had not been too much difference. Now, even in Atomy, there's groups who's making money are growing much faster, and the groups that's not making is getting, it's really decreasing. Don't make Corona as an excuse, COVID. No.
캐나다에만 코로나가 왔습니까?
Is it only in Canada or only US? No. COVID is all over the world. Then, start line is same for everyone. It's same. And my partners, I tell them, is it only your house who have COVID? In my house, we have COVID too. No, it's the same. Everybody's difficult. Now what do you have to do? Only one thing. In spite of that, that's our power. It may be slow, but go forward. That's why we have to, it's not learning, it's doing first. Doing. Through doing, we learn. And the lecturer who have learned from doing, then they can actually hit it on the spot. Those people who have learned only, and they just have such a beautiful stories, but no focus. And then they say they are going to change the world, but they cannot. My partners, I don't want them to go around and borrow money. I don't want my partners send their parents to the nursing homes. I want them to send their children to college. And I want to change the lives of my partners who are with me. You gotta do the doing, and you gotta make it your own. Not partners or sponsors. Experience by your own colors. Whoever hears it, that's Namili's Royal Master. His style. That's how you have to work with your body. Secondly.
왜 안 써지지? 이게 선명하지 않다. 두 번째, 저는 이거 석세스에서 박한기 대장님한테 배웠거든요.
This is I learned from CEO Park from Hange Park. It's MBO, Management by Object.
이것도 뭐죠?
What is it?
목표를 관리하라는 거예요.
We have to work with the goals.
목표 관리.
You've got to manage your goals.
파트너 상담할 때
When you have a consultation with your partners, this year, what's your plan?
그 물어보면요.
When I ask amateurs,
안 하는 분들은 뭐라고 얘기하는 줄 아세요?
those who do not set goals, first
참 희한해.
worry.
이게 전 세계 동일하더만.
It's so same everywhere.
뭐 2022년 12월에 가겠대.
And everybody says they're going to go for 2022 December. That's the goal. They said it.
그러면 그 사람은 저는 땡 해요.
And I say, dang, I don't support them.
시간을 쓸 수가 없어.
I don't want to spend time on that person.
제가
Sure.
없어가지고 많이
Before
싸웠어요.
I used to fight with them.
근데 이제 사람에 대해서 알았죠.
Now, I learned about people.
오케이?
Okay.
그리고 지워. 내가 명단에서 지워.
And I erased from my journal.
전화하면 안 받아.
X. I don't answer her call.
절대 안 받아.
I don't answer her call.
절대 안 받아.
I just don't answer calls.
써갖고.
Before,
그랬는데
don't call me, I said. And I don't even do that anymore.
안 받으면 안 써.
I just don't answer it.
속을 들키냐고.
Why do I fight with them?
여러분 일하는 사람들은 이렇게 비겁하게 얘기하지 않아요.
The people who work, they don't say that.
이 아마추어들이 뭐라는 얘기인지
And another thing, they say amateurs.
3월에 갈게요.
I'll go to in March,
희한해. 한국
in
사람들은
June.
꾸로 나간다?
They go 3, 6, 9 September.
하면 돈이 더 나오냐? 회사가 뭐
Is there the more money?
같아. 3, 6,
It's like the Korean people.
3월, 6월, 5월.
March, June, September, and December.
이 사람도 저한테는 땡이에요.
This person,
그건 안 합니다.
no, I don't support them.
목표만 있지.
They only have goals.
관리가 안 돼.
They do not have a detailed management.
프로는 어떻게 얘기하는지 아세요?
You know what the pros say? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
정확하게 1년 플랜이 있어요.
And have a 1-year plan.
그리고 여기서 또 들어갑니다. 관리가.
And from here and go there.
전반기.
15, 1 to 15, 16 to 31. Twice a month.
이렇게 들어간다니까?
That's how we do it.
전반기, 하반기.
February 1 to 15, 16 to 28, March 15,
이게 진짜. 이게
31.
관리예요.
This is the MBO. Big chunk.
그걸 더
Make it smaller, 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 and then go down to very detailed.
일일 목표까지 있어요.
Daily goals.
MBO예요.
That's MBO.
제가 요즘에 들어온 사람들은 박한길 회장님의 이 MBO 직강을 안 들어봐서
And those people who came now, they have not heard MBO's lecture. They have not heard, so they don't know.
기본이거든요.
This is the very basic. But it's like a big corporations have this.
거의 안 잊어먹은 거예요. 왜?
And the business builders, they forgot. They don't talk about this anymore. They forgot. CEO Park, I told CEO Park, would you please do the MBO lecture again?
너무 모릅니다.
People forgot. They don't know.
여러분 스폰서한테 와서
When you come to the sponsor,
상담을 할 때
when you have a consultation,
당연히 계보도 갖고 와야 되지 않아요?
you gotta bring your lineage.
1년치 목표를 갖고
And you gotta have a 1-year plan.
할 때는
When you want some consultation, when you want to be helped,
친밀함도 있어야 돼요.
and you've got to have detailed information.
내 계보도.
My lineage.
직급을 갈 때 누구랑 갈 건지.
Who's my players?
적어도 1년은 안 되더라도
And even if it's not a year,
6개월치에
and
전반기
few months, every 15 days of my sales, PVs.
1월에는 매출이 이랬습니다.
In January, this is my PVs.
많으라고 저는 그렇게 얘기하는 게
It's not how much.
참 더디지만
It's gotta be, you gotta see the growth there.
올랐을 때는
If you go down,
이랬습니다.
because of this, it fell down.
이렇게 구체적으로
Fell. You've got to have a very specific information so that your sponsor will listen.
그냥 밥만 먹고 수다 씩
And you just have food and talk all kinds and then nothing.
말고
What is it?
후원하실 거예요.
Who are you gonna support? What I
절대 파트너
I don't hold partner's hand anyone's. I don't.
그게 어떻게 보면 저의 성공 원인이에요.
And that's my secret of success. Only those who wants to do it.
다 하겠다 그러죠.
They all say they will do it. But I have a guideline.
애터미가 1순위인 사람.
Atomy is the top priority.
1순위인 사람.
Top priority.
초지일관. 에이전트 때나 판매사.
Whether it's agents, sales masters, and diamond master, it's a top priority until Imperial.
누리고 싶은 거.
What I want to do
그거를
and
미루면서
what I can give up
큰 목표로 세워서
and have a very focused.
여러분이 만일에 처음에 10년이었으면
If it's 10 years, you gotta bring it forward.
아직도
Oh, still? I have 9 years? Oh, 8 years? No, you gotta bring it forward, make it short.
그러면 내 남편이 나를 덜 기다려.
And then my husband won't wait too long.
학교 갈 때 내가 함께 해줄 수 있어.
And then I can be with my children when they go to school. If I can shorten it, you don't have to fill 10 years. Is there a law? Is there a law?
항상 그래.
And people say, I still have 8 years left.
지랄을 하고 자빠졌다. 지랄을.
You're crazy.
그러다 엄마 죽으면
What if your mother dies?
남편이 아프면
What if your husband gets sick?
애가 엄마 이번 졸업식에 꼭 와줘.
Mom, you come to my graduation this time.
입학식은 와줘.
Even if you cannot do the graduation, come to my for my beginning of new school. If you bring it forward, will FBI will come after you?
CIA가 쳐들어오냐고요.
Or CIA will come chase after you?
이 MBO 하셔야 돼요, 여러분. 그리고 가르치셔야 돼요.
MBO, you have to do it, and you gotta teach your partners.
이런 방법이 있는데
This is how we used to talk about this a lot. This what helped me, and let's try it. This is important. That if I know only the leaders know this, that's a problem. We cannot become successful by ourselves. We need so many people. We need to work together. I have to show it first. It works. It works. When you can say that, no, it doesn't work that way. It worked until I became Sherwood's master. This MBO, what I'm trying to tell you, even if Atomy is 100 years old, this is the same thing. This is the core. What's important? If you work at any other company, you only need to do well. But in Atomy, many people will have to come together, work together. That I have been graced by other people with the partners and sponsors. We gotta bring them up to the stage. In Atomy, I will never retire from Atomy. And I will never retire. And that I shake and I just, I cannot come like that. Because if you do that, it won't help anyone. Have a correct expression, correct words, and you have the right philosophy. You gotta share that. That's the duty of the person who has lot even in atomies. Number 3.
노란색이 더 잘 보이나? 빨간색이 더 잘 보이나? 그래요? 화면으로? 네 번째, 이것도 불변이에요, 여러분.
Number 3, it will never change. This is a core. Attitude is everything.
태도가 전부입니다. 태도.
Everything. Attitude is everything. Why is it important? Because it duplicates.
태도가 전부예요.
Attitude is everything.
저는 코로나가 되면서
When COVID came,
애터미의 코로나가 되면서 또 장점도 있는 것 같아요.
I think there's the benefits from COVID too for Atomy. Most business most of the times that the partners meet sponsors and come to the seminar. And now they meet at the center. And because of COVID, all the centers were closed. And there's a very new type of people came. Without the sponsors, they use the products. Oh, this is not bad. And then there's that it can become a tool for the success. How does it work? Maybe then I will find out what this is. Now there's no seminars. They go into the internet and they listen to the lectures of all the videos. There's no connections, right? What they have heard is a CEO Park's video and Imperial Master's lecture videos, and they learned by themselves. What's surprising is that those who have studied the business, they do not have problem with the sponsors. Isn't like most of you? CEO Park says that it's 2 lines from me, and centers and those sponsors that you met at the meeting. In Korea, this is really bad. It's wrong. I'll do 1 line for you. And they start without any fear, and they don't even think about it. I will help you. she's gonna give up first, right? Cannot be responsible, and they just talk. And then they create dependency as if they're gonna do it all of it. Atomy, this is bad, right? They spoil them. They gotta help for them to do it by themselves. In COVID time, and there's no sponsors, and they have not heard it, any of such. And they hear from CEO Park, it starts from me, 2 lines. 2 lines, that's what it says. He says. They never heard that you only need to do 1 line, and there's no one says that I will do it for you. For those people, they do it as they heard. They have not heard anybody that somebody will do that, but they do not expect anything. I need to learn. I have to do it. They do it themselves. Because they do not expect anything. One day, and came together with a sponsor, and the sponsor said, I'm going to help you. Why do you help me? This is our business. Oh, and the backward. And this happened in Kim Bum-soo Royal Master. It went to the China. In China, had such a blaming all the time, and then he had given to somebody else, and then because he had heard such a negatives, and then he had said to another person, And this person
3세예요.
had gone to Russia, and then it's a third generation.
그분은 원래 계획은 한국에서
And he
전공해서
came to
자기네 나라
Korea and learn Korean and go back to Russia
된 강의를 하는
and wanted to have a lecture about Korea.
근데 이분이
This person
이제 똑똑하니까
is
연대
very smart and went to a Yonsei University,
그 러시아 관련 쪽 그런 데서 이 자동차
and the
부품
Russian
회사에 그 일을 통역을 해주다가
and then did the translation for the Russian in the automotive department
그래갖고
and got a job
지금 계속 다니고 있어요.
and then works there.
그러니까 1년 연봉이 한 9만 불 정도 돼요.
He's make about
해보니까. 그러니까 적은 수입
$90,000 a year.
정보를 준 사람이
The person who had given him the information,
엉뚱한 소리를 해. 그러니까
and then
이
it's
사람은 하려고 한 게 아니라
and
이 사람을 말리려고.
so that he was given the wrong information. I'm going to find out about Atomy and have heard CEO Park's introduction of Atomy. He wanted to create a company such as Atomy,
자기 고향에 보내서
and he
했는데
sent to Russia
더 싸게 팔더래요.
and then
한국 화장품은
sent more,
손 띄고 또 거기에서
and
나오는
then
이제 그 밍크 관련된 제품을
and the products were sold at a lower price. So now he had
5년 동안
done all different kinds of things for 5 years and never become successful. And this person
정보를 듣고
Atomy information and keep
생각이 들었냐 이 사람이
learning about Atomy.
이거
Ah,
내가 찾던 비즈니스
this is what I was looking for.
이게 다 이미 만들어졌고
It's all been set up. I can just go there
시동만 걸면 되는
and just turn the engine on
그리고 이 사람은 그 스폰서란 개념이 없고 이 사람은
and did not have any sponsorship idea at all.
제품만 제공해주고
Took the products.
러시아어로 전부 다 번역해서
He translated everything in Russian
자기가 이끌어가야 되잖아.
and he's got to start doing it himself.
한 달 만에 자기가 강의 다 하는 거예요.
In 1 month,
에이코 합시다.
he did all the lectures, A course,
페이스북으로
Facebook, WeChat, WhatsApp,
카자흐스탄, 우즈베키스탄
Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. He just,
이게 순식간에 쉽게 공부되더라고요.
and for 10 countries.
사람의 존재가 있는 줄도 몰랐어요.
And nobody knew that he existed in Korean sponsors.
팀장님은 계속 매출을 체크하니까
Kim Bumsu Royal Master keep checking the PBS and then there's keep points coming up.
근데 한국이 아니고
But then
본 적도 없는
he never Uzbekistan or Kyrgyzstan or whatever, and the points were coming up.
전화를 한 거예요.
So he called Bumsu Kim called
한국에
the Atomy company and found out that
한국 이름이
he was in Korea.
영주권이 있어서 그래서
He
연락
has the green card in Korea.
개인정보 도용이 되니까
He's not going to give any information
이 사람이 내
personal. I'm a royal master.
진짜 도와주고 싶다 열심히.
I want to help you.
그래서
So-
사정을 해갖고 연락처를 받았어요.
And then now got the information and called him.
필요 아세요?
You know what he says?
돈 필요 없다고.
I don't need help.
돈 필요 없다고.
I don't need help.
각자 비즈니스인데
It's your business, my business.
회사 열심히 해라.
You do your business, I do my business.
벙찐 거예요.
And the Bumsu Royal Master
그 사람은 필요 없어.
wanted to help.
왜?
But everybody wants help, but he doesn't need. He says, I don't need help.
내가 스스로 모든 걸 해내야 된다.
I'm going to do it by myself. This is my own business.
그런데 다 맞다.
But
근데 혹시라도
if
도움이 필요하면
you need help,
저한테 연락을 하세요.
call me. I'll help.
그럴 일 없습니다.
I won't need your help.
왜냐?
After
너무
a month,
정보가 늘어나다 보니까
he called.
자기가
So many partners. He had so many, and now
어떻게 해야 되지? 그래서
what can I do?
자기 파트너들을 데리고 아구정센터에 찾아온 거예요.
So he had his partners and brought them to Apgujeongdo Center. That's Haejongri's center.
전업할 생각 일도 없어요.
There's no way he was going to have a do a full-time. He's going to do a part-time.
나는 지금 내가
I
회사에서 버는 돈으로 우리 아이들을 키워야 된다.
I make money from my company. That's what I have to educate my children.
계획으로 했다.
And Atomy is just a part-time. That's my plan.
생각보다 더 잘해.
But he works. He does much better than the full-time business. In globally,
뭔지 알아요?
there's a part-timers.
애터미 지금 어떻게 진행하고 계세요?
How do you do Atomy?
아마추어 부업자들은 뭐라고 얘기하나요?
Amateur part-timers, they say. Oh, Atomy is my part-time.
그럼 여러분, 여러분의 말대로 돼요.
And then that's what's going to happen because what you say is going to happen. It's going to be just your part-timer.
아세요?
You know what they say?
프로 부업자.
I'm a pro. I'm a pro part-timer. I have two jobs. I have two jobs.
여러분, 부업이라는 단어가 딱 들어가면 그때부터는 언제 되죠?
If you say I'm a part-time, you know what happens? Your mind, you think,
이제 폐업해도 되는 거야.
see, if one does well, then one can disappear.
근데 난 직업이 두 개입니다.
I have two jobs. What that means is,
전력 질주하는 거예요.
and then he can do two jobs at
난이 두 개를 다 해내야 돼.
good job, and he can do it.
이게 생각이 다르고
He thinks differently.
또 다르고
What they say and the action is different.
여러분 애터미 부업으로 하시면 안 돼요.
Atomy, you cannot do as a part-time.
회화로 접근하셔야죠.
You gotta have I have two jobs.
그리고 그렇게 시간 안배를 해야 됩니다.
And that's how you divide your time.
이 친구는
This man,
딱 끝나면
he finishes work from work
그때까지 애터미 지금
and he does Atomy till 2 o'clock in the morning.
지금 팀장이거든요.
He's a diamond master.
하고 있어요.
He's maintaining his diamond mastership.
부업이라서 부업이라는 단어 여러 번 찾고
And part-time
그 사람한테
and sponsor
를 세게 못 하고
cannot really
부업이니까
say what he wants to.
성공하겠다며.
Part-time,
그렇게 생각하면
do you want to become successful?
두 개 다 성공할
No, I'm going to be successful in two jobs.
하셔야 됩니다.
You've got to give your energy to both.
그럼 그렇게 부업으로 하는 스폰서
Those who have a part-time,
사람하고 함께 하겠습니다.
who's going to go to the end?
출주해도
You have to give all you got.
그들의 그룹은
어.
전부 그런 거예요. 색깔이.
And that's how the color is in his group.
왜 자세가 중요하냐?
Why attitude is important?
원판 불변의 법칙 아시죠?
This is the law that's never going to change.
저는 그 뉴욕에 있는 어느 그 소방청에
New York,
거기에 그 핵심 슬로건이라고 해요.
and there's a slogan of the fire department. First in, last out. When there's a fire, we're going first, and then we'll be last out.
저는 이게 리더의 자세라고 생각합니다.
This is the attitude of the leaders. First in, last out.
10시인데 9시에 왔습니다.
It's 10 o'clock we start, so I came here 9 o'clock. This is my attitude.
파트너는 아니어도
You are not my partners.
안 하면 안 하지 하면 최선을
If I do it, I give all I've got,
5분 전에
even if I don't do it. You can come 5 minutes before 10.
그렇게 생각하지 않겠죠.
I don't think that way. Even now,
저는 올 몇 개월 전서부터
a few months ago,
사업자 미팅을 시작했어요.
I have started the business meeting
백신 맞은 사람만 들어와요.
with mask on. Those who have been vaccinated, they come to the meeting.
임페리얼인 제가
Imperial,
미팅을 주관하는 거죠.
I,
안 모여요.
and there's only 100 come.
핑계대고
They say because of the pandemic, they don't come.
100명이 있는데 페이스 투 페이스
In the Zoom, there's 1,000 people. Offline, 100 people came.
저는 그 사람들을 진짜 사업자로 생각해요.
And those hundreds, I'm going to make real business people. On Zoom, bring them out of the Zoom and bring them to the offline. Look, let's talk face to face.
만져보자 서로.
Let's feel your hand. Let's look at each other's eyes.
시합하고 얼굴을 보고 상담을 하자.
Let's
언제
have a consultation face to face. How long are we going to be on Zoom? do Zoom. And also at the workplace, let's meet. 10 o'clock. From 9 o'clock, we have volunteers and prepare and check everything and clean. And 100 people to come in, it's got to be a big place and clean the whole place. Leaders come by 9 o'clock. You wait for your partners. You greet them in one line. As you greet them, wait for your partners, just like mothers. They cook and they wait for their children. They wait for their children and they clean their and they wait. Isn't that what the mothers do? Mothers, fathers, they go to sleep first and the children go to bed on their own? No. They come before. At the end of the meeting, until all the partners go, and leaders go last. That's last out. That's how I do it. I don't go first. I stay till the end. After everybody leaves and everything is cleaned and turn off the light, and I'm the last one to go. That's the attitude of a leader. First in and last out. And when I do it continuously, and there's duplication, I don't have to teach. You just show it to them. Some royal masters, they come last and go out first. What? What can you do? I don't support that line. There's no answer to that group. And then partners suffer. If they don't do their responsibility, because of that attitude, it's gonna be, that group is gonna be duplicated. And partners go to the crown, they pass them. Ask me, why is it this happening? Why can't I go? Before, I didn't have the understanding of the people. Look, sit down. I'm gonna, I will, give you few points, and then put my hair to behind my ear, and then it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't do that anymore. Now I know. Those who will not change will never change. Even if I open up, nothing will happen. Someday. The end. I've been in Atomy for 14 years. They have not learned anything from me. I don't have to say anything. By action, you show. In the end, don't copy the system. It's the attitude. I'm the born Christian. That there's, I have been very devout Christian. And God sent me the partners who are so devout Christians. And I just go crazy. One of them, that someone that they respect, 40 is a woman pastor, 40 years old. and then she studied the church, and then the COVID happened, and then they were worshiping through the online. So she recommends me to listen to her lecture. Holy, holy, I don't know what to do.
그분이 정말 좋은 분이에요.
But she was really great.
너무 감당할 수 없는 힘든 길을
And she's gone through such a difficult time for past few years, and then she came through in our lives,
내가 원하든 원하지 않든
and that whether I want or not, things happen.
사건보다 더 중요한 건
But what's important is not the event, but it's the attitude, how I deal with that thing. That's what I think.
그분의 강의를 제가
When I listened to
깜짝 놀랐어요.
her lecture, I was shocked.
그 강의를요, 여러분 그게
That
얼마나 저한테 많은 영향을
lecture, that how I'm affected by it. And
들었어.
I heard it. I don't know what to do. It would have been better than if I didn't hear it or didn't hear it.
저를
This
찔러.
is really,
왜 봤지?
really bothering me. Why did I hear it? Why did I see it?
에디슨.
He's talking about Edison.
에디슨이
Edison
어느 날 학교를 갔다 와가지고
came back from school,
우리 이성현 박사님도
and
에디슨의 얘기
the Dr. Lee, Sung-Hyun Lee, talks about Edison, who,
선생님이 엄마한테 편지를 드리라고 했어요.
and he brought a letter to his mom, and mom,
엄마만 읽으시래요.
my teacher said, you read it, mom. I cannot read, but you have to read it.
편지를 본 거죠.
So mom opened the letter
다 읽고 나서 조용히
and then read it.
선생님이 뭐라고 쓰셨어요?
What did the teacher say, mom? Mom said,
선생님이
teacher said,
당신의 아들은 너무너무 똑똑합니다.
your son is so smart.
훌륭한 탤런트를 가지고 있습니다.
He's got so much talent.
우리 학교에는
But in our school,
당신의 아들이 가진 그
that
훌륭한 재능을
in our school, we cannot help him to develop his talent.
다른 학교를 찾아보세요.
So please find another school.
그러면서 선생님이 이렇게 얘기하시는구나.
This is how teachers says.
학교를 가지 말고
So now let's not go to school and let's do a homeschool.
그때부터
Mother started to teach him at home.
에디슨을 이제 교육을 한 거예요, 엄마가.
And
그런데 세월이 한참
as a time, and then time went,
에디슨에 대한 전기를 쓰려고 하는 작가들이 이렇게
and there were the authors who found the letters, who wanted to write the autobiography of Edison, and found the letter
거기 뭐라
of the teacher said. What does it say?
당신의 아들은 대망난입니다.
Your son is the so playful. Our class cannot continue because of him. And then your son is just interrupts every student. So please don't send him to school. Now this was the sending him to school, kicking him out of the class. But mother had told him completely opposite. And Edison thought he was so smart, just like as if his mother said, so talented. This is true, right? And that pastor, 40 years old, single pastor, 20 years younger than I am, and she is so. Now that letter, who reads the letter, people change. So she prays every night. How will God read me? Same event, but mother read it completely differently. Then, and I make so many mistakes, then how would God read me? God would think of me well. And when I heard it, and I feel like I was just hit by something. for those that I don't like,
나한테 잘하는
I
사람이
just,
너무 이쁘다고 읽고
you know,
싶은 평범한 사람이에요.
I'm a just ordinary person. Those that I like, I will write a good letter. But those who are not, I won't.
하나님은 나를
But
같은 엄마처럼 읽어주길
with God,
그래서
read it like Edison's mother, that even though I am
이덕호 총장님
not a good one, he would see me through as a good
제가
one.
미영 크라운에 대해서
At one time, Douglas,
이렇게 자랑같이 얘기를 했어요. 나보다 더 긍정적이고
I told him about Myung Park, Crown Master. She's so positive, she goes forward.
잘 안 믿고 그리고 생각해요. 생각한
I don't say yes
내 판단을 믿는
first,
사람이에요. 그 사람 말안
and
믿거든요.
I have to think first.
그건 아버지 영향이에요. 우리 아버지.
That's my father's influence on me.
자기식으로 논리적으로 생각한 사람이어서
And
그거
he,
하면요 우리 아버지가 그랬어요.
if I say something
나가라 쌍 이랬던 분이거든요.
and then just, you know,
저도 그래요. 그런데
don't just think it first.
되게 좋게
Myung Park,
초기에
at the beginning, I told him about good positive ways.
그게
But
대단해.
Imperial Douglas said,
그랬더니
what's so special about that?
그 목사님하고 이덕호 총장님
Okay.
이 두 인간들이 나를
And then these two different views,
나를 자꾸 도전에 이렇게 밀어넣는
they push me to challenge.
아니
And Douglas said,
모든 성공의 자질을 가진 사람을 성공시키는 게 뭐 대단한 스폰서
all the positivity of becoming success, what's so special about that?
했을 거야 누굴 만나도
She would become successful anyway, whoever meet her.
어떤 사람이 그러니까 이덕호 총장님 훌륭한
Douglas,
스폰서를 붙이는 거야 앞에
he says, good sponsor,
아마추어 파트너들은 밥 잘 사주면 좋은 스폰서야 안 그래요?
for the amateur partners, if the sponsor who buys food, they're good sponsors, right?
지금의 당장의 달콤함
But just what's good, that is right now.
어떤 사람이에요?
What good sponsor is?
때릴 때 확실하게 때리고
And really hit it
그죠? 내가
and
때릴 때
make a point. When I run together, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's good or bad, and it's very clear. For 10 some years and constant. Don't change back and forth. He says, and I think it's the person who cannot become successful that they will become successful. That is a good sponsor. And you, that's the good sponsor, right? That was a turning point for me as a sponsor. Sponsor's attitude. I don't like to do it. I'm not anybody special. I'm not an Iron Man. And I get hurt, I get trauma, and then I'm just ordinary. That, because that is right, that I'm troubled. But Imperial Douglas is person who's not a pastor, but the 40-year-old pastor, and comes into my heart. What she says, isn't that right? I don't want to do it. I don't want to go to hell when I die. Now, I am in conflict, so I don't want to go to church. But there's a challenge. It challenged me. What is it? The challenge? Imperial. Last night, I really thought about what kind of lecture should I do it? See, I'm blood A type.
별로 제 강의가 많지 않아요.
In Atomy, there are too many of my lecture.
제가 안 한다 그래서.
It's not because the Atomy company doesn't ask me, but it's me. I don't want to do it.
하면 절대 안 해.
If I say no, I don't do it.
3번 얘기하면 한 10번 얘기하면 해주고요. 방영단
Douglas,
얘기하면 해줘요.
Douglas, if he's asked 10 times and he would do it, but Myung Park, she's asked twice and she would do it because she's so good. And
박 회장님이 저를 시켜요. 그럼 나 애터미 관두면 되지.
Sheo Park,
수당만 받을 거야.
Sheo Park
근데 그
said that I don't want to do it.
제가
And then
여러분들한테 그
if
어떻게 하면
I have to do it,
좀 이렇게 현실
even if I don't want it, then I just won't do anything, but I'll just get the bonus. But when I do it,
임페리얼 다음 직급이 있어요.
there's another level after Imperial. What is it?
아시는 분?
Anyone who knows?
에서님, 임페리얼 다음 직급이 뭐예요?
Beyond the Imperial.
안 들리는데? 종이에 써서 보여줘 보세요. 손바닥에 쓰든가. 제가 그 이덕호 총장님 말씀과 그
Douglas,
설교
Imperial,
제가 내린 결론.
and from the pastor of 40-year-old,
임페리얼 다음 직급은 에이전트.
as agent.
에이전트의 마음으로 일해요. 제가 내린 결론.
That's my conclusion. It's not the correct answer, but after Imperial,
나를 괴롭히는 그
is coming back down to agent.
사람들이 나를 저는 하기 싫은데
I don't want to do it.
자꾸 하라 그러잖아.
And they asked me to do it.
위에서 좀 그만 보냈으면 좋겠는데.
And I don't want him to send another person to just in it. Position after Imperial is agent, I think.
누리는 게 아니고 의무를 다하라잖아.
It's doing my duties.
그러니까 나한테 왔어 질문이.
Now, question came to me. My answer is agent.
아직 임페리얼을 안 가신 여러분들한테
So
무슨 얘기가 될지 모르지만
maybe you may not you don't know what I mean. Those who did not become Imperial yet.
임페리얼이 되고 난 다음에
Once you became Imperial and you are going back down, you have to have an answer for yourself. As a real true leader in Atomy,
그래서
you will have to find the answer beyond Imperial.
사실은 여러분 임페리얼 되고 나면 어려움이 참 많아요.
When you become Imperial, there's a lot of difficulties. We have to, my action, what I say, and it's just, I cannot do what I want to do, and I cannot fight.
겁나 국장 때까지는 허물나게 싸웠는데
And until Shen was master, I fought so much, but after that I cannot because I have to let myself go. Attitude.
제가 본 책 중에 최근에 읽은 책 중에 제일
A book that I have read. I like the title of the book because that's what it says about the book. What the title of the book,
태도가 되지 않기.
that your mood doesn't become your attitude.
기분이 나쁘면 그게 태도에
If my mood is not good, then it shows in my attitude.
여러분이 직급이 낮을 때는
But when your the position is low,
태도가 묻어나고요. 사람들이
and then it shows whenever whatever you feel,
존재감이 별로
because there's the period. And Imperial, as soon as Imperial comes out, then and it's right away. Some people look at myself, I kind of look for mood. I think about that book. Don't let mood, your emotion, become your attitude. I think it's better not to become Imperial and just retire and disappear. I seriously recommend.
중요하고
Attitudes very important.
조직에 영향력을 끼치는
And that's what will influence your group
그래서
thousands and 10,000 times.
시스템을 복제시키는 게
It's not the system that you duplicate, but it's the attitude you heart to the partners, to the sponsors.
내 조직에 위기가 왔을 때
And then when my group is having difficult times
이걸 해결하려고 싸우자 하고 덤벼들
and
때
fighting, no.
내 태도가 용기 있었냐 도망갔느냐
It's my attitude is the courage
결국은
or running away.
제가 볼 땐 시스템이 아니에요.
It's not the system.
doing을 복제시키는
It's the doing you have to duplicate, not learning.
그리고 그들의 기억이
doing.
선명하게 남아있습니다.
And that in their memories,
그리고
it's going to be remembered. They're going to remember.
마지막으로 이제
Lastly,
말씀은 이거 노랑이가 잘 나온다 그랬나? 네 번째는 여러분들 사주권에서는 유명한 단어죠.
in Western,
휴브리스예요. 제가 요즘에 이 4번도 제가 요즘에 제일 많이 고민하는 거예요. 휴브리스.
hubris,
이게 이제 요즘에 이제 그 경영하시는 분들의 화두죠.
hubris.
잘 보시면 여러분
If you
이런 기억하시죠?
really look at it closely,
창업자가 훌륭하게
and the
창업자가
CEO,
만드는 거예요.
CEO
그게
create
표현으로 하면
and build,
라떼는 말이에요. 라떼는 말이야. 그러니까 자기가 모든 것을 알고 있는 거예요.
and then as if he knows everything,
잠깐 동안의 그 실력을
the CEO who have created and become
많아요.
so stubborn,
그래서 들떨어진 자식한테 물려줬었던
and then give it to their children rather than the professional
최고야라는
student.
생각은 제일 경계해야 돼.
Those who think he's the best
내가 모든
is the most important and the dangerous.
애터미가 쉽게 느껴질 때가 가장 위험할 때예요.
When atomy becomes easy to you is the most dangerous time because your learning is going to
내가
stop.
말이야 이렇게 돼요.
If I say this, what I think,
이 휴브리스라는 단어
the attitude, hubris, is the because of the pride of the CEO, the whole business just crumbles.
그게 휴브리스예요.
That's what hubris is.
이게 아마 월가 쪽에서 제일 먼저
I think that's how it came from the Wall Street. The huge corporation just crumbles.
되게 많이 나오죠. 그
It's in the
30년도 못 넘는 추락하는 거.
those grows up to 30 years and then it crumbles because of the pride of the CEO.
내가 다른 사람 말을 안 듣는 거.
Those CEO who do not listen to other people.
결국은 우리 각자는 CEO예요.
And we, all of us, are CEO.
아무도 나를 못 자르잖아요.
And no one can fire me. That's why I did that to me.
나만 나를 자를 수 있어요.
I only can fire myself.
뺏어갈 거를 저는 갖고 싶었어요.
And I wanted to have something that no one can take it away from me.
그러면 내가 주인이 돼요.
Then I am the owner.
그러면 결국은 저만 저를 자를 수 있는.
And I only can fire myself.
그럼 저를 자를 수 있죠. 그냥
I can fire myself. My laziness, my pride.
위로 올라갈수록
As you go up,
처음서부터 끝까지 여러분
from the beginning
나와의 싸움.
to the end is
나와의 싸움.
it's the fighting with myself.
그래서 제가 초기에는 파트너들하고 많이
At the
충돌했어요.
beginning, I have had a lot of conflicts with the partners.
우리 애터미의 크다란 장점이 있죠.
In
무한하게
Atomy,
모아놓죠.
this is the most
사람들이 저보다
is
더
at unlimited levels.
저기 총장님이 얘기하신 대로
That
험불한
humble, generous.
제 허물을 덮어준 거예요.
They covered me up.
저같이 막 공격적인 말투를 가진 사람.
I was so aggressive.
계속 이끌었다면 전 절대 성공할 수.
If I have done it by myself, I could never become successful.
그러니까 우리는 절대 혼자서 성공 못해요.
We cannot become successful by ourselves. There are so many people that we have to do it together. And that's the leader's success.
받은 겁니다. 무한한 은혜.
I've received all this, and we got to give it back.
안 그러면 여러분 하나님이
If not, God will take it away from you.
뺏어가요. 많은 분들이 저한테 사실 저는 무대 올라가기 전까지 10억을 기부할 생각은 1도 없었어요.
Before I went up to the stage, I wasn't going to give up. I got the donation of 10 million.
근데 여러분
I mean, a million. Lee is not my partner. Douglas son, Dae-Woong Lee is not my partner.
그쪽 파트너들은 내가 지네들 스폰서인 줄 알고
And they think I'm I'm their sponsor, and they ask me to help. I said, no, I don't. You're not my partners.
우리 국물도 없어요. 족하고 나발이고 없어.
I don't care whether he's my nephew or not. He's not my line.
근데 제 계획은 있었어요. 그래서
I had a plan.
했을 때는 1억을 기부했고
When I became crown, I gave 100,000, and it was $50,000 was my plan to give donation.
굉장히 진짜 정말 그 신앙을 실천하는 훌륭한 분들이고 저한테 굉장히 신앙적으로 굉장히 큰 어른들이에요. 제 파트너지만.
My partners,
박성석 총장님이. 근데 이제 임페리얼 승급식을 이제
박-
앞두고
Jung,
굉장히 무서워요. 딴 건 하나도 안 무서워요.
my partner's faith
굉장히 무서워요.
that really influenced me. I don't like driving because I'm so scared of driving.
그 친구가 저를 제일 많이 태워줬어요.
And then
근데
took me a lot.
그 교회 권사님인데 여기
She was the faithful
뭔가 잘못하고 있는
leader.
것 같아요.
She says, I think I'm doing something wrong.
그때는 자기가 전도를 참 많이 해요.
Before I shared the gospel with many people, but because I was so busy, I was focusing on the Atomy that I'm not doing as much. She was saying she was driving.
하나님이
God,
잘 보여야 되는데
I wanted to show myself to God well.
잘 보여지는 행동을 못하는 것 같다고.
And then I'm not doing well. But when I die and stand before God,
날 기쁘게 뭘 했니? 하고
what did you do to make me, to please me? If I were to go, I don't have anything to say.
그 얘기가 이상하게 또 왔어.
And then it just came to my heart.
얘기 안 들어야 돼. 안 들어야 돼.
And I just I shouldn't hear it.
그 말을 또 곰곰이
And I was thinking,
나는 교회도 매주 안 가고.
I don't go to church every Sunday.
어떤 날은 하고 어떤 날은 안
I don't pray every day. Some days I do, some days not.
속에는 오히려 당신은 말이야. 나를
And-
이 세상 막 이러고
In the beginning of Atomy, I said, God, you.
그랬는데
And that's what I
야,
did.
가면 바로 아웃이네.
If I go to heaven, I guess I'll be out. Right, strike out.
갑자기
And suddenly,
이순신 장군처럼 뭐
like Sun Shin,
있는 거야. 내가
only so many ships, but I have $1 million.
그래. 내가 언제 10억을 모아보겠냐.
When could I save all this $1 million?
나가는 이놈의 통장을.
And
그래 그냥 한 방에
okay, at once
그래가지고 제가
$1 million came in.
그 생각이 딱 무대 나가.
And then as just before I went up the stage, that thought came.
기쁘게 해드리자.
I please God.
끝냅시다 우리 좀.
And at once, let's finish, God.
이거로 끝냅시다. 앞으로도.
Let's finish.
그 이전 것도 봐주고.
And before and after.
그 생각을 하고 딱 올라가.
And when I went up on the stage with that thought,
스피치를 하면서 이제 제 마음속에
having a speech in my heart,
이 돈이 내게 아니었구나.
this money was not mine to begin with. It was not mine. This was God's.
내 걸로 착각했던 거야.
And
주인이 뭐예요?
I thought this was mine. It just went back to
주인 거를 내가
its
움켜쥐었으면
his owner. What would happen if I had his money? That was not mine.
내가
Something will happen to me.
누구랑 저는 술은 못해요.
I don't drink alcohol, but
KBS 9시 뉴스 나오는 순간 나는 망해.
where if I fight with somebody and then come on the news on KBS,
그래서 제가
what could happen to me?
내게 아닌 거는 빨리
if this is not mine, let's just give it back right away as soon as possible. It's not that I have humanism, so much of it. It's not that. I am very calculating woman. If you receive $1 million, do whatever you want. I mean, yeah, you just saw someone like me. Hubris. Leaders? Leaders? Really think about it. Hubris. Why? Because the world is changing so fast from Corona, Delta, and Omicron, and it gets changing variants. And the people were in offline, and COVID, and went to Zoom. Now, bring them back to the offline, and then you have to bring them out to the offline and don't know what will happen next. Watch the trend and then adapt yourself as quickly as possible. To do that, your brain you have to be very flexible. Flexible, you cannot have. And if you are stubborn, we cannot afford to be stubborn. You've got to be flexible. And I think trying to flexible, I think it's been duplicated. That's my hope. And that I'm just sharing that this that not everybody, but some, and those who are creative, who become riches and hubris, and then they crumble, and then those humble will just change. This is what I'm sharing with you. I'm going to send you a card, show you a picture. This is my father. On the left, that looks like me. On the right is my sister. My father has 7 children. One is in North Korea. My family, we cannot meet. It's really sad. I don't know her face. Of course, there's no love relationship because I don't know. And cannot go to the hometown. And now, who are here, it's not your country, maybe you're not born here. From my parents, the South Korea is not their hometown. From North Korea to South Korea they came, and then North Korea is their hometown. So it's very sad. Those who came to Canada, and there's many immigrants. English is your second language. But what? It's all happened already. Looking at the picture, at 15, I have my that's my school uniform. I was 15. I was going to school in night school. My sister came to USA, and she was a dental lab, made a lot of money. And my father said to my sister, my father said, the roots. In 1980s, I think there's a movie about the black Alex Haley. He's the author. And then my father was talking about roots. Go And the father wanted to give him a lot of money to my sister who's going to USA, but our family did not have much money. My father, probably you're like that too. Those immigrants give all into the children. She's gotta live a better life.
자식은 부모 입장에서 미래를 향해서 쌓아올리는 화살이라고.
And then children are the arrow to the for the future. All parents wanted. My father wanted to give money to my sister. What was it? It's the spiritual roots. And you see the chain there. In 1800s, no, 1700s, they became as a slave and came to United States, like dogs and pigs, and they were slaves. U.S. and I think that they're also the and then my father thought the Kunta Kinte, he thought he was like Kunta Kinte, and that not meeting those who that he loves, and the heart of Kunta Kinte, who wanted to go to his hometown. My father said, Kunta Kinte also wanted his children to have a better life, and that their children do better. So for 7 years, 7 generations after, end up the Alex Haley got the Pulitzer Prize. 7th generation, and there's a author of a Pulitzer Prize like that. For you to have a better life in USA, you too go and to your children, they would have a better life in better world. You try that. And then he was telling her about roots. I was only 15 years old. I understood by head. I saw the drama. My father showed us dramas a lot, movies a lot. And then he had me love the movies. As I was listening to him and I saw the movie again, my father is really smart. He speaks English and Japanese and Chinese. My father is a very smart man. When I became Imperial, when I was thinking about hubris, what my father had said at the time came back. In Atomy, what can I leave to my partners? How would I be remembered in Atomy, in the history of Atomy? It was not money. It was not money. I never suspected that my father didn't love me, and that's a great that my father had me believe that he loved me all the time, and I respect him for that. I never suspected that he didn't. For my sister had 2 sons and 1 daughter, and lawyers, and they working at the job. And my sister carried on what my father told him. For me, I am going to do that in Atomy. That his spiritual, even though I don't make much money, if your membership is not much, that if I remembered of my father's wish on me, that I would have made many more successful partners without fighting, without them leaving me because of fight. When it's small, what is it that I want to leave behind in Atomy? Think about it. Not when I become Imperial, but from now on. Maybe then your business, your Atomy attitude will be different. And I'm going to end my lecture. I think most of the lecture that I have given maybe answered your questions. I had worked 1 hour 45 minutes, so what's the question? Question is 3 questions I will ask. First question. Now those who want to start this business as an Imperial Master, top leader, what would you advise? Don't depend on anyone. It took me a year and 3 months before I started this business. When I committed myself, I did a reality check for me. Who's going to help me? There was no one. There was no one. I came out late. In the lineage, I am up there, and those people down there, and my brother just studied and then just worked on it, and it's huge. Even if I asked him to help, he won't have any time. You may have heard Doug Lee's lecture. Or his sponsors were in Iksan. Those people, their group was small. Doug Lee came in, and then with such a speed that there were the rumor, and there's a crazy man came now, and he knows what to do by himself. He's a person who does everything, and because he had failed 5 times, there's a power who have failed so many. Don't be afraid to have a follow. Learn how to get back up. Don't be afraid to fall down, but getting up is important. That I think the secret of his success, because he had failed 5 times, so he knows how he cannot fail. In Atomy, there's one worry. And there's so many people who became successful at one time. And then there's a huge, big danger of hubris. In Atomy leaders, those who became successful at one time without failure, then they could crumble by himself. I became successful. Why can't you do it? It was not hard. And those people who say those, then it's very dangerous. They're talking about the before COVID. And it was easy to sign up. It's not, time is different. For me, and then also, for me, Doug Lee came out, all those sponsors, they were doing all their reclines. No one was supporting Dougley. They would not sign anybody up under him. And then it says, it's a line that they're doing it together. And there's only one. And then one who was doing the Falkland. And I said, give it to me, give it to me. Kim Kwangyeol Imperial. Kwangyeol Kim. So, all these first, the sister who came out late, he's not going to help me. He would help his partners. Who will? When my mother goes to the hospital, come to the hospital. Partner calls, then he would go to the partners. So I don't like my brother. I hate him. As a brother, he's zero. There's no support. But as a sponsor, he's a great sponsor. Perfect. I did my own business. As a brother, my brother was a sponsor. My brother was sponsor. Don't envy us. It took me a long time for me to separate from brother to as a sponsor. As a sponsor, I am so thankful. Now there's it's hard, the conflict between having brother and sponsor together. When my mother is sick, I was sad that my brother is not I had to sign for my mother's care, health, not his son, not her son. My mother didn't want the extended life. I had to sign everything for my mother's cares. Whether to have oxygen or not, I had to sign for it. Everything. And it was so sad. She had 4 children. I was the only one. This is my duty, my life. When I studied Atomy, I looked around, there's no one could help me. I have to do it myself. But I was on the top. My left line was all big. I had 8 Sheros masters. Thank you. So I can do 1 line. I had to do 2 lines. But if it wasn't there, then I would have done 2 lines. To make money, I have to do 2 lines. But 1 line. On the right, nothing on the right leg. Yeah, but who would put anybody on the right? Right? I gotta survive. I didn't put anyone on my left. PV, I helped them when they went for the promotion. I am not a sponsor, but I'm spongy. And for them, I'm not a sponsor to them. I accepted that. That's my life. If you are envious, have a brother who have done network marketing for 17 years. I didn't have not even a bit of expectation from a sponsor, so I wasn't hurt. I have not received any PBs and not even Imperial Masters because I was not a player in his I was like a 10,000 to 1. Now, right now, it's a 3 to 1. I kept working, and one time then I became a player in his promotion, and then he gave me points. When I was going for the next positions, I never received any points from him. Nobody believes me. When I went to tour, Myung Park, Kanggyok, Hang, what I heard. Hye-jung Lee had done a betting, and Doug Lee made it for her. That's a legend. That's okay. It never happened. And those who do not have no money can do it. No, what can I do? Whether you believe it or not, I haven't done it. So those who have worked with me, they know. And they did not know me at all. They have not met me, so what? Of course, I have this personality as a very strong. Rather than, if you don't expect anything, then you don't get hurt. I knew that there was no one who's going to help me, and I started my presentation right away. I did everything. And maybe you may think my family is really funny, but I expected one thing from my brother. When I become Imperial, don't die. Until I become Imperial, don't die. I need somebody who will give me a consultation. Because consultation is very important. Which direction do I go? I need to hear from my sponsor. And he is the best. He's my direct sponsor until I go to Imperial. When your group becomes so big, there's a lot of greed, and there's a pride, and there's so many conflicts. The more people you have, there will be more conflict. That's why you become successful. If there's no people, you don't fight. And that's the core of making money. If you do not like conflict, then don't do it. Don't make money. I did everything. One thing I needed. When my direction was off, then I need somebody to tell me. Lee, I pray that Lee, you shouldn't die until I become Imperial. He didn't die, right? Okay. You gotta do it. Sponsor is, for me, sponsor only if I get a consultation from sponsor, then I will become successful. That's what sponsor's role is for me. Marriage too. If you expect, then you get hurt because you calculate what to give. And the children too. What have I done for you? Why don't you do this for me? If you go and do deliver the products and support directly, and then you're going to be rejected. And people who don't know about the Imperial, they laugh at us. That's how it is. Royal Master? Those, because they don't have any concerns about Atomy. There's no respect. Of course, if they don't what can I do? Because I learned by doing. It doesn't matter. You experience. Don't take your sponsors with you all the time. You've got to do it yourself. I have to do the presentation. That's your power. and products, and you do it, and if the sponsor does everything, maybe easy, but you sponsor and my partner does all this meeting, maybe it's easier, but and then you're not going to have anything. And those partner, what if your partner cannot do it? What are you going to do? For your job, for your business, you have to be the owner. You have to take the doing. You have to take the role and doing and learning. Second question. And there's roles for every position. What would be the Diamond Masters and Showrose Masters role? You heard. Just do it. Just do it. Atomy, to my partners, what I say, just those who just sat there and became successful. And sales master and diamond master, same. They haven't done much. And then sales master, sales master, they're same because they have not done anything. And that there is no skill or any better learning of the position. So it's because of the unlimited level. Position, you need to be a Showrose master and diamond master as such. You need to do it and learn. And last question, I'm not going to listen. I think it's the same. All over the world. In Turkey, Jung Park went to Turkey, even if in pandemic. I wanted to go too, but I had my mother. When I work and go, and I may just miss my mother's death. So I haven't gone overseas much. I have, when I look at myself, they talk about bucket list. My bucket list starts when my mom dies. And I cannot say to my mom to die for me, right? So you can't say that. Everybody has their weight on their lives. There's things that you cannot tell anyone, only God and I know. And that's also attitude. Just accept it as is. And I really wanted to go with the Myung Park because Zoom is not enough. Because they have not seen the sponsors because of the Zoom. And she just went to Turkey. And she duplicated doubly most Myung Park Crown Master. I'm not. And Myung Park and Douglas, they have a similar personality, so I don't like both of them. What did you say to them? I asked her. I thought duplication is so scary. The Douglas Imperial Masters lectures are same. Why and how? That's how it was duplicated over there. Why? Why are you doing it? How are you going to do it?
그게 전부예요, 여러분.
That's all.
그런데 여러분들이 했을 세 번째 질문하고 똑같은 질문이
Third question. That's how it can, where it comes from.
뛰는데
I work hard.
합니다.
There's no consumers.
아세요?
You know what?
여러분 나도 제품 설명을 안 해서요.
Because you didn't do a product the presentation.
사업자가 안 늘어납니다.
And I have a lot of consumers, but I do not have business person because you did not do the presentation of business.
그거 하시면 돼요.
Do it.
여러분, 애터미 네트워크 마케팅의 원리는
Atomy is the network marketing.
착하네.
It's very simple. Just do it.
오늘 제가 여러분들한테 이 강의도요.
This lecture,
했어요.
you heard it.
듀잉을 하면 거기에
If you do it,
여러분의 이야기와 여러분의
then your
듀잉이 합쳐지면
story,
거예요. 제 이야기가 아니에요.
my story and doing, then it's going to be your story. It's going to become your story.
듣고 있었어요, 여태까지.
You've heard
근데
mine.
여기에 여러분의
And
듀잉이
here your doing comes in, it'll become your story.
저는 사실 강의 너무 많이 듣지 마세요.
Don't listen to too many lectures. It's their stories.
마지막으로
Lastly,
이 얘기하고 끝낼게요. 제가 애터미의 여러 가지 이야기 중에
there's many things in Atomy.
없어져야
Among them, there's one thing
슬로건이
that should disappear. One of the slogan that needs to disappear. I don't like.
얘기 있죠?
Not success,
성공입니다.
but
이거
service.
얘기하면요. It's all bullshit이에요. 똥이야 똥. 개소리야.
This is nothing.
한국말로 하면 아름다운 개소리예요. 그대로 통역하세요. 거칠하지 말고.
No success, but service means it's nothing.
bullshit이라고 그러나?
Bullshit.
이거
Bullshit.
속지 마요, 여러분.
Don't be fooled by this.
없애버려야 된다고. 제
Ish.
생각은 뭐냐면
That's what I think.
성공 먼저 하세요.
Success becomes success first, then service. Success fast, then service. We came here to become successful, not to service. Then you should go to church to service. Don't do it to me then.
개소리예요. 사람들 현혹시키는 거. 미혹이라 그러죠.
This is it's tempting. You didn't come here to serve. You came here to succeed. Don't serve.
절대 파트너의 부모가 되려고 하지 마세요.
Don't become a parent to your partner.
우리는 누구의 부모가 될 수 없어요.
We cannot become
내 새끼
parent to somebody else's.
우리는 그냥
We just
코워커예요.
we are just co-worker.
저는 파트너 때문에 힘들다는 분들한테 꼭 그런 조언을 드려요.
Yeah, those who says you have a hard time with your partners,
터져가지고.
I tell them, you're just co-workers. You're not serving them.
성공이 아니라 성교입니다. 전 이거 개소리라고 봐요.
This is
개소리. 듣기엔 아름답죠.
it sounds right. It sounds good, but it's nothing.
이거 크게 섬기세요. 아시겠죠?
You become success first,
네, 감사합니다.
fast, and serve.
여러분, 오늘
Thank you.
구독, 좋아요 눌러주세요.